we're actually going live into that right now.
Well, that was fast.
And yeah, we're already into it. We're getting live here. Luminosity, winners from yesterday. Same with Mousesports, trying to find out who's going to earn their way into tomorrow's matchups on Sunday.
Well, you see Luminosity is going to be on CT side here, with Mousesports executing on T. Chris J working on mid executes, but look at the CT flank coming in. That's Fallen. He's actually going to go down after doing a little bit of damage, dropping Nico. Gabi returning fire. Nice flank from the A players. And I didn't catch who else was at top mid, but it probably was Fur. He's so good at pushing up, flanking, and doing these aggressive plays. Chris J, he's going to find himself in kind of a bad position, trying to play lurk while the bomb gets planted at A site. That's in. B tunnels, finally pinched off and then shut down. That's fine. He did his job. Bought the time. Gabi up top. Puts down a lot of damage, but he's not going to be able to single-handedly hold off the two split.
Yeah, Steel's going to come in right at the end there, be able to get the defuse, but Cold with the pistol in hand, able to get himself 3, goes all the way down to 15 HP, but he made the frags happen either way. And I do like what Chris J was doing in the tunnels. I mean, he delayed for a long time.
Yeah.
He had one player at upper, he had 2 players down in mid. Both, or all 3 of those players were focused on him. If he could have just picked the upper guy, been a little bit more of a nuisance there, he could have delayed even longer. That would have given Mousesports a bigger shot at taking that round home.
Well, as we come out of the gate, Luminosity not going to buy very aggressively at all. You don't see nades or anything coming out, so they're going to play more conservatively with Nex holding 1 smoke. Right away, Gabi is going to get taken out. Dennis tries to take a little bit of mid control. Well, he did his job. He drew some fire for Nico to get pushed up towards Xbox, but you see Nico just getting outgunned, outnumbered, and looks like superior firepower is going to be the name of the game with Nex all alone. Fallen, scoped in, down mid. Dennis is going to fall back towards long A, though.
Yeah, so Dennis, last one left alive, and he's going to be there, trying to work his way out of house. And then look at that, Cold able to take down Dennis. That is going to be 2 rounds now for Luminosity. And Luminosity looking good so far with the guns in hands, and they're going to be able to hold on here. Only 1 death so far between these 2 rounds for a Luminosity player, and that was Fallen.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, you look at the score lines, fine, they won the pistol round, they bought up around it. That's completely expected, but if you're only losing 1 single player over the course of 2 rounds, that's big. That's huge for the economy, and for that reason, Cold's going to be able to go ahead and pick up an AWP. It's interesting seeing him holding on to the AWP and not handing it over to Fallen, but Fallen really wasn't all that hot with the AWP yesterday against Titan. It was the other players coming up absolutely huge. Mousesports setup. That's not good. Chris J gets picked off at B, so that limits the options for the team.
Yeah, Chris J getting picked right off the bat. Not the way you want to start this out. Fur in a great position outside of long A house. Will pick up 1 before he's traded out by Nico. And very close there. Bolts is in the argument. Also Fallen with the scout trying to find another shot. Can he get it? Gets 1 before Nico finally takes him down. But we have ourselves in a 2-on-1 situation with Nico alive and a 2K going against the AWP of Cold and the FAMAS of Steel.
Here's Nico, stuck in pit, able to pick up the AK-47. He's got a 2K so far. Now look at the positions for Mousesports. They got 40 seconds on the clock. Don't know exactly where he is at this moment, but he can't go anywhere. If he chooses to push out, maybe escape towards long, he's going to run into a CT, and then another one's hanging back. He's either at CT or Cat. Nico wants to push up around the edge, get a little bit of information before he works his way towards A side. I thought he was going to save. Seemed like the prudent decision, but no, he's just going to go for this. 14 seconds on the clock. Gets the first kill. If he goes right now,
wow!
Steel gets wrecked.
Wow, I cannot believe Nico made that happen. Low on time, ends up working his way all the way up long, hits the cross, gets the shot on the player down in CT spawn, turns back around. Steel had him dead to rights, had him on the flank, couldn't hit it, and Nico, with the quick turnaround, ends up getting the headshot.
Yeah.
And that's Mousesports on the board in a big way there. That'll make it 2-1 in favor of Luminosity, but as you can see, Luminosity money not very good here. Cold down to 1,900, and already Steel's buying, so they're committed to it. They're going to buy into this round.
Yeah, Nico was such a huge player for Mousesports yesterday, and he's already on point with that clutch play. I thought it was all over, right? He gets an AK-47, ducks down in a pit, and looking at the timer, like, you know, he could go for it. It probably isn't the prudent decision, so it's not going to happen. But the pick and then that flick shot, what in the world? Shouldn't have worked out that way for Mousesports. Luminosity Gaming, they're reeling a little bit. They do buy. You called that out. Yeah. You have to at this point. I mean, Mousesports, they're not the famous Virtus Plow situation, but you've got to keep these players extremely low. Buy up, do what you can, and wreck them in the economy. Speaking of economy, even though Mousesports took that one round, they don't have a whole lot of cash either. They have to buy up. I mean, you absolutely have to buy up to
you have
take
to string
some
them
sort of
together.
momentum.
You don't have a choice here. You have to string the rounds together, and they're going to be buying what they can either way. And again, both teams pretty much forcing at this point. They're buying everything they can. Like I said, Luminosity wants to prevent them from going 2 in a row. Mousesports needs to get 2 in a row to bolster their economy and have some good cash going forward. But Mousesports, they could be in a tough spot here if Luminosity is able to hold on to this one and not allow Mousesports to get 2 in a row. Yeah, this is a very, very important round for both teams. The winner takes economic momentum and essentially resets that energy from the early pistol round, which went in favor of Mousesports. It was so disappointing. Mousesports getting that first pistol round, and then we saw the turnaround by Luminosity, and these teams are just trading back and forth, back and forth. I'm sorry, pistol round ended up going to Luminosity Gaming. I'm wrong on that. And now Mousesports reclaiming economic momentum. Let's see how they choose to execute. Looking like a standard default. Nice shot from Chris J. Oh, wow, and through the door. Yeah, that's Fallen taking a ton of damage here. He's got to be careful. Trying to figure out where he can go. Drops the smoke down, gets through it. He's down to 20 HP. Fallen. Damage done this round. Chris J with the AWP. One of the more exciting offers that we get to watch here. And, man, Luminosity Gaming trying to get aggressive, trying to change this. They do take down Chris J. But, I mean, damage at this point is already done. It's going to be a 4-on-4. Fallen down to 20 HP. Everybody else on his team is 100 HP. And if you look at Mousesports, not a single player alive has any damage done to them. So Mousesports going to be that 4-on-4. And looks like they should be trying to work their way up catwalk with that Lone Ranger again over at B.
Yeah, but look at Bolts. He's got the angle. The smokes tell the tale. Just waiting for Dennis to peek around the corner. You see Steel also pushed up close at B side. Takes the lurk player down. And that basically tells the story that nothing's at B. A couple of shots fired. I don't know if Bolts actually saw anybody through the smoke, but he is spamming. That forces Mousesports to fall back. Maybe give an indication that they're retreating. Instead, they're going to be bunched up and closed in. Look at the positioning. Fallen pushing up. Fur on the Xbox gets a 2K. The last one mopped up again by Fur. And that's actually a 4K round. Almost the ace.
Yeah, Fur playing exceptionally well there. And Luminosity, they got a little aggressive. They ended up folding their way back, and they had a good collapse there on catwalk. But they didn't just speed in. They didn't just go one by one. Flood in onto catwalk, end up getting mopped up. They didn't take those battles in bad decisions. They stayed together. 2 players worked their way slowly through mid, back to the back of catwalk. They ended up peaking relatively at the same time, and they had the man advantage every time. They went 2-on-1 to get the final frags of that round, and that's Luminosity preventing Mousesports from getting 2 rounds in a row.
Look at how Fallen just opens it up with that initial up pick, taking away the hopes and dreams of Mousesports. Mousesports, meanwhile, clustered all around mid. They've got mid control. That's at least something. Nico wants to push out, find information at CT, takes a shot, then he's going to fall back and work his way up towards Cat. Bomb still in middle, while 2 more set up at long. So it looks like Mousesports wants to set some sort of a split. Fur drops a flash. Looks like he's out of a smoke. No more utility down by long. I'm surprised they're not putting Fur in a more powerful position, like Pitt.
Yeah, they're just playing a little bit slower here. They're making sure that if somebody does get aggressive on them, they're able to drop back, cover each other really well. They're playing in positions where they're easily able to trade the shots up that they need to. And Fur rotates his way back towards long, able to get 2 shots before Bolts finally goes down. Nex is able to hit that shot, but I mean, right now you have Nex 7 HP, only with a Glock in hand. He's going to be 1v4. Not a winnable round for him unless he can make just absolute magic, but doesn't matter. Silent M4, shot will come down from Fur, who ends up collecting that final frag. That's going to be a 4K for Fur on the round, with the initial 2 coming from long A as he rotated back slowly.
That's two in a row for Fur. 2 4Ks, 8 kills, 2 rounds. 4-1. Finally, Mousesports, they're going to go ahead and buy up what they can. Am I actually seeing this? Yeah. They're leaving $2,100 on the table, so they're just going to do a force buy, buying heavily around Nico, and then Tech 9s for the rest of the team. They take control of upper tunnels with a 3-stack, and they set up to just exert some mid control. Notice how Luminosity, other than 1 or 2 rounds with Fallen, pushing mid, haven't been aggressive. But Bolts. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Bolt's able to get 3 right there in mid before he finally goes down. But I mean, if you're able to go 1 for 3, that's a good trade in my book. It worked out for him there. Luminosity with the man advantage, and Cold will get in the argument, has the op shooting down from B as his teammate Steel will get the flank off onto Dennis, mops it up, and that's going to be 5-1 now in favor of Luminosity Gaming.
That shouldn't happen.
They're looking pretty good here from the CT side. They're hitting their shots. They're playing the angles effectively. Realistically, they're just outplaying Mousesports right now. Just outright outplaying them.
There was nothing fancy going on for Luminosity there. I mean, Bolts took a position, a pretty common position on this map, right there just outside of doors at mid. He should have maybe got 1 kill. He shouldn't get a 3K like that. No. And it's just complete failure to trade into the position. Look at Cole playing in aggressive position. Beautiful flashbang. It's going to blind him, and that allows Cole to go down. 1 op out of play, but Fallen still working the op up top, playing the A angle.
Yeah, we still have Gabi with only that pistol in hand. We actually have Fur, very aggressive. Long A house, able to get 1 onto Dennis. That'll make this a 4-on-3. Man advantage coming out for Luminosity Gaming. Trying to use their smokes and flashbangs here to try and put themselves in like a little bit better of a position. And yeah, no. Nex was ready for it, able to take down Fallen, so up off the board in general, unless we happen to have a random pickup by Steel here, but I don't think he's going to go.
Oh no, fair.
Mid. Yeah.
Yeah, for such an aggressive player like that, I mean, he's always the one who ends up pushing out of his sight and coming in around on the flank. This is the second time we've seen him at top mid and doing significant damage to a really good mid-to-B split. And suddenly Chris J left all alone. He plants the bomb. First sees a crack in the smoke, and that's all she wrote right there. Fur's going to get the kill and another round on the board. Look at this score line.
6-1 already in favor of Luminosity. That's...
Yeah.
Hey, if you're Luminosity, this is how you want to start this out. You want to try and demoralize Mousesports as fast as you can. You want to get as many rounds as you can in your favor. Even though it's Dust 2. It's realistically, it's not sided, but it's still, it's an 8-7 map, and it can go teeter either way.
Yeah, it's very even.
And generally, it's more so the T side ends up having the majority of the rounds. But I mean, if you could keep this going here, I mean, the dream, of course, would be you get the 14 rounds, and 14-1 half would be the dream, but I think Mousesports is a little too good for that.
And Luminosity is unrelenting tonight. That's an eco round. Mousesports only able to take 1. That's cold. No economic damage happening, and yet they've taken a few ops over the last few rounds off of Luminosity's hands, so they forced him to rebuy, and indeed Cold buying and rolling with the second op setup. He's down to $50. What's very interesting about this buy, not just 2 ops, you also have Steel pulling out the auto sniper. Let's see where he plays with that. It's either going to be a huge round for Luminosity, or it's going to fail spectacularly.
I'm pretty sure we've seen the auto sniper come out from Steel. I don't think it was very good when he used it last time. I think the last time I honestly saw it was online, but hopefully today that changes. And no, it will not. Nico able to take him down relatively quick with the AK headshot before Fur goes on the trade of Nico. Well, the op play does come out. Cold, one of those guys that can op very well. Great pop flash comes down. Now there's only one terrorist left alive. That's going to be Dennis. He's getting pushed on from behind by Bolts, and Bolts will get that final shot. We are looking at an 8-1 now.
Look at the way they did that. Luminosity loses an op and they lose an auto sniper. You'd think that the team would go full tilt with only 3 left. What are we to do? But they get the information and they isolate these players in mid. And that last kill was a thing of beauty. You have one player up on top of Cat and then the other one spots him, uses the molly to keep him delayed, distracted. Hey, I'm here, focus on me. And then the teammate comes in behind, taking the kill. 8-1's your scoreline. Mousesports once again economically wrecked on an eco round. They've got very little utility. At this point, they're wasting all of it, with the exception of one smoke, one flash in Nico's hands, and Fur, look at his position. By blue, sneaky beaky.
Yeah, Fur, one of those dudes that will get very aggressive.
Oh, wow.
He does find 2. Fallen right in there. Bolts finally goes down. Fallen going to try and get the last one. He will get it. It's going to be Gabi, the last man there. And Luminosity staying perfect so far. I mean, they've only dropped 1 round. And if they can continue on this path, I mean, 14-1 is not unimaginable at this point.
You see how Fallen in the middle of the lineup right there. I saw just a little bit of a smile cracking on him. He's such a nice guy. Such a nice guy.
Oh, if Chris J would have hit that, that would have been unbelievably dirty.
See the T's working in B tunnels. This is going to be a buy round for Mousesports. Nothing fancy. Off in Chris J's hand. Cold Zero working the same angle Fallen did a few rounds ago, and it's going to work beautifully. Dropping Nico. Was that a boost position? I think it was. I think that was tower power going on. To quote the great Raheem.
On each other's heads, making it happen. But we've lost Nico. We have Steel left alive. I mean, he's low on HP right now. He's down to 33. But, I mean, he does, between him and Cold, they collect the frag they needed on Nico. Dennis takes a little bit of damage with that grenade. But right now, Luminosity, they're in the driver's seat in a big way here. All they have to do is just hold on and not allow Mousesports to be able to gain some traction.
Yeah, we've got Bolts working his way through the smoke. He's thinking about pushing it. He hears so much noise, sits super close. Rex, 1 and 2. Long push canceled out, and the last man standing is Chris J with the op. He's able to find Steel when Steel gets a little bit aggressive at doors. Still is able to get bomb control, flashing over the top. Problem is that bomb is watched. Chris J dropped down to 12. Wow. What is that? Firing just through the top of the stairs. A headshot, but the flame is going to set Chris J's feet afire.
Yeah, good job there. Chris J trying to do what he could with some very, very nice op shots, but just wasn't quite enough. And we're actually 10-1, so
this is awful.
We hit round 12. Mousesports in trouble. They desperately need to win the remaining rounds that they got left. If they can make it a 10-5 half and just salvage these last few, that's not bad.
That's terrible on Dust, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you should expect it to be a little bit closer, but I mean, hey, right now, Luminosity playing great. We just lose Steel, and we actually lose Fur, so that comeback, or at least a few more rounds, could be happening starting now.
That same hyper-aggressive buy for Luminosity. They had the auto, and they had 2 ops. This time it does fail spectacularly. The auto sniper's not able to hold down the B site, and it falls quickly. Bomb is planted as Bolts and Cold on the retake. Bolts is going to be the first one in, and he just wants to single-handedly take this. Does a lot of damage to Chris J. Can't quite finish the job. He mollies in while Cold, looks like Cold's just backing off. So Bolts is the rich man trying to do all the damage he can. Gets 1 kill before he gets found out. And Chris J, even though he's so hurt, still going to hang on to that AK-47.
Yeah, Chris J gonna do what he can with it. Cold gonna be the last man standing. Has the op in there, and bomb will explode. So Mousesports does get themselves a second.
Oh no! Why?
Ends up re-peeking, gets 1 shot before he goes down. But Nico, I believe that was 3 on the round in favor of Nico. So Mousesports has 2 rounds, but they have reset their economy here. They're gonna buy out into this one, and luckily it's not a ton of money that they have to spend right now.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. So if they do drop this round, it's not dire straits. It's not, all right, well, we're saving all the way to the final round of the half. But you still do not want to get reset here. Allow Luminosity to win this one and then force your team into a full save.
2 ops again coming out of Luminosity, and no auto sniper. I think they learned their lesson last time around. They actually had the money. They could have afforded it if they really wanted to go for something wild. Heavy long push. Mousesports is able to go ahead and take long control. They put the bomb down, put one player in pit, and now you see Gabi backing off with a teammate, probably going to focus on top mid, exerting control up there. One player's pushing up, and it's Fur, of course. If he gets, if he puts himself out here, he could be in trouble. But the smokes tell him that there are T's up at top. Best hang back, played a little more passive. Look at Next through the cross. No gaps in it. Christier is going to go down to Fair. Playing it smart. Here we have Next holding down the bomb site. Bomb goes down. Steel stuck in that horrible position at CT. Here's footprints. It's going to distract him. Looks away, and he gets peeked. Somehow doesn't get his head taken off. Cold sitting at Cat. Looks like it is watched. Steel walks his way up. Finally dead. They knew exactly where this player is, and now process of elimination. Where's the other ones? Got to be at Cat, and indeed, Next finds the kill with the headshot. 10-3. Mousesports getting back on the board, but too little too late.
I mean, still, Next got himself a 4K. Mousesports will string together 2 rounds in a row, so that helps their economy here. So they're going to be able to buy into this round again. Forcing some rebuys will be Luminosity. But yeah, like you said, maybe too little too late at this point. Yeah. Luminosity already has 10 rounds from CT side. The biggest thing here is momentum. What team is going to come out with the momentum in their favor and try and carry that forward? Mousesports has to get that if they want to win this map. You go to half here, even if you drop these last 2 rounds, it's 12-3. You need the momentum to start that pistol off once you switch sides, so you don't just instantly get put into map point.
Well, Mousesports have to get something started. Look at Bolts this time, dropped in to pit. Gabi's going to come through from CT, take a kill. I think he dropped down from Cat, and that's going to be a plat. Look at the jumping.
Wow.
That was a jump shot or a shotty from Fallen. Headshot it too.
They know where the bomb's at now, which is going to be a huge thing. So it's up to Dennis here to try and help cover his teammate. Bomb gets planted. He's got to worry about long A. And yeah, all right, he's good. That smoke will land far enough away. So we got to learn where Shocks is coming from. Or, excuse me, wow. Chris J.
Shocks.
Wow. Spacing. I was looking at Steel and Chris J and somehow came up with Shocks.
Minus Chris J plus Shocks.
Minus Chris J plus Shocks. No, Steel right there. Cold in there. They're going to be able to get the frags that they needed, and Steel's going to get on that bomb and get the defuse, or Shocks, as I'm going to call him now. Steel is Shocks. But that's 11 rounds now for Luminosity, and we're going into the final round of this half with Mousesports down, money-wise, down round-wise. They're not looking too good. Yeah,
this is looking terrible for Mousesports. They've got enough cash to go ahead and get something together. You've got to end this half.
You have to end
more points than that.
Yeah, like I was saying, momentum.
Yeah.
You need that momentum going into second half. So even if they lost out up into this round, they have to win this one. They get that momentum back in their favor to get that swing. But Cold's going to open it up, man. Cold's going to shut down Dennis. Luminosity is looking on point here on Dust, too.
There's Cat. Cat control's taken. You've got 2 players at long. They vacated the A site. Now, if they can move very, very quickly, beat the rotation, you can take a little bit of position. Fair is there, watching, playing the passive angle. So dangerous. Spots one, falls back. Problem is his position is given up. He throws a grenade, and then he's going to get found out by Next. That's a headshot, and A site's taken. Bolts. He's playing the edge of that smoke. Just played it wrong, though.
Just did not react fast enough to Gabi being right there in his face. So here comes the retake attempt coming out here for Luminosity game. One player at the ramp. Hop shot comes down from Fallen. Gotta look up. Nico will go down also. So Gabi and Chris J, the last 2 left. And trying to watch this bomb. Gabi's doing it from the pit. Hits a nice shot on the Cold. Fallen's going to be the last one standing. He's in trouble here. One's on catwalk. Doesn't know where the bomb's at. Doesn't even have time to make the defuse happen. Hits an off shot. And that will be Mousesports collecting the final round of the half and getting themselves a 4th round. So they do have the momentum going forward. They just need to carry that through. Get a big pistol victory here. Worry about those anti-ecos and just force your way through this thing. And don't drop map number 1 really, really fast, Luminosity, because that's going to be a heartbreaker.
I think there was some confusion going on right there between where the other player was. You know for a fact somebody's at pit, and I think that he thought that the cat player had dropped down and was going to come up ramp. You saw him keep kind of looking back that way, and you know, the confusion, the hesitation ends up costing him the round, wasting just a touch too much time. That's an abysmal score line for Mousesports. It's 11-4 at the end of the first half. Let's look at these scores, though. Coming up absolutely huge. We had 2 4Ks from Fair and also a 4K from Fallen. And nobody really standing out except for Steel, such a high-impact player, way at the bottom of the scoreboard for Luminosity.
Yeah, I mean, he was relatively impactless, I guess, in that matchup.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing that he really did, but he didn't need to. Fur was playing out of his mind. Fallen was playing great with the off, and that was big for them. I mean, they were shutting down Chris J's op, and they never really allowed him to get going. I mean, Chris J had some cool shots down mid, but it wasn't enough, and Mousesports could never really work off that. And they were just on the back foot that entire first half, and Luminosity didn't surrender an inch at all. They just kept pushing forward and playing lights out, and they make that an 11-4 half. That's great if you're Luminosity.
This is where I really like watching Luminosity. Once they switch over to T side, they tend to play slow and methodical with really good fire team. Steel's going to get taken out very early. I say slow and methodical. Meanwhile, Steel's standing like an absolute madman, looking right down mid through suicide. They call it suicide for a reason. If you poke your head down there, look in that direction at all, you're going to die. Xbox smoke goes down. It's going to be a fast cat approach this time, flashing over. And yeah, the flashes tell the tale. There's 2. And then a third one at pit, working their way up. Chris J with the USP, missing the shots. You've got to find the headshots with the USP. He's going to play back at range, playing to the advantage of that gun while he waits for teammates to rotate through. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a good push coming out there from Next. And wow, turns around, takes down Fallen very fast. So bomb is going to be planted for the catwalk player. Got to be careful here. Just trying to hold on. We still have that one player playing in the back. That's going to be Fur, and they both end up going down, Fur and Cold. So Mouse will take that prescription. They're going to be able to get that initial pistol round, so they can get the 2 anti-ecos after this. I mean, we could be looking, you know, 11-7 very fast going into the first gun rounds, and then it's up to Mousesports to not drop anymore after that. They have to maintain momentum, and they almost drop it.
Do you think that was next level aim? Oh yeah. As Fallen as expected, pulling a SSG out. I see you hanging your head over there.
I cannot believe you just did that.
The cheese factor has been raised to 11, boys, which just so happens to be the score for Luminosity. 11-5. They've got not a lot to work with. P250s, but Fallen's got that scope weapon. That is the SSG. If he can just find the headshots, he can be a high-impact player. Not so hot yesterday. Not necessarily so hot so far as that standout player that we saw at the Major.
I still expect him to get warmed up, get everything rolling back in his favor, and really have some good games, because this is a best of 3. So no matter what we're going to in the next map,
Mirage.
We're not out of this yet. We could even force Train out of this, which would be exciting. Put these guys, have our first 3 maps of this weekend.
Yeah, Train would be weird with these 2 teams.
Yeah, I'd really like to see what Mousesports and Luminosity can bring to the table and how they react to each other on Train.
Oh, yeah.
I would love a map 3 out of these 2 teams.
You see Luminosity going back to their very slow, methodical play. They're not going to take any chances. Falling is completely blind, and the P90 spray is real. Dennis getting 2 before he finally gets traded out. They charge into the site, but the door player is ready and waiting. Steel plays some lurk. He's going to lose his firefight, leaving Fallen all alone. Goes for the bomb. Door is watched. That was strange positioning by Nico. He's standing like right in the middle of the door, and as dangerous as that off angle is, you don't expect it, and that's what gave him the advantage. 11-6 Mousesports. They've got a little momentum now. The problem is they've got to carry it. You cannot afford to give up rounds. Tie the thing up, then we have a game on.
Yeah, I really like what Luminosity was trying to do there. You send that one-man catwalk, tries to drop down in the CT spawn, catch a rotator if he's able to, then try and eventually just meet his team back outside the B-bomb site. Wasn't able to make the shot, ends up going down. So Mousesports now with 6 rounds, and trying to cruise their way to that 7th round, but we will have Luminosity onto a buy here. We got 3 AKs, the Galil and a FAMAS will be coming out, or excuse me, Galil and a Scout. I'm losing it this morning.
That's all right. Light buys for both teams, so no one really has an advantage. Luminosity is going to stack 3, taking mid control, setting up at Cat, and they're playing default, awaiting picks. You've got 1 in tunnels and then 1 making noise out just outside of long. Mousesports has pushed 1 all the way down to pit, holding that position, so they could actually rotate multiple players off of A and bias Cat looking down towards B site, which looks to be what they want to do, and leave that 1 player. Now Gabi looking forward, trying to find information outside of A. Might be too little too late because the execute's happening from Luminosity. Here come the smokes.
Yeah, Luminosity all the way up catwalk. 4 coming out. Chris J hits the first shot with what's not a FAMAS. It's a scout. And still trying to find another one. And he does get it in the head on Fallen. But Cold right there in his face at the ramp, able to take him down. So now we're going to be 3 on 4 in favor of Mousesports. And this is getting very, very close here. If you're Luminosity, you're liking what's happening. They're going to be able to get a bomb plan out of it because they remember it is an early buy. So they put quite a bit of money into this thing. Fur avoids all that full grenade damage, avoids the flashbang there, looking, trying to find a shot. He needs to line those up. Steel, last one left. He ends up going down to Gabi, and that will make it 11-7 in favor of Luminosity. So Mousesports still in this, not out of it yet.
Yeah, see the high fives going on with Mousesports hailing from Germany right there. Take a drink. You earned it. Mousesports back in it. What's very important about that round is they finally broke the economy of Luminosity Gaming. They've got that early on momentum. And just a few more rounds to go before they start closing this gap. Chris J is going to pull out the op, and this is the first full-on buy round for Mousesports as well, with everybody upgrading their weapons. Lots of utility, lots of incendiary grenades as well. It's a straight-out A rush. It's costly. They lose Cold, but they are able to go ahead and take long control. 1 sitting lurk at mid. That's going to be Steel, just hoping somebody pushes through. Unfortunately, nobody's in position at mid. Steel's probably ineffective this round. Yeah,
I do like what Mousesports is doing here. They lose a man. They even it up. They're still 4 on 4 here, but they don't force. They don't start doing weird rotates. They're not trying to compensate too much. They only have 1 man at B. He's gonna be able to anchor that by himself just fine. And they haven't overcommitted to try and swing players around and get caught on these rotates. And they're playing it smart here. Mousesports trying to get this 8th round right there in the smoke. Nico's going to be over the top. Gets over, gets one, tries to find another one on top of the catwalk. Ends up going down to Fallen. So it will be 3 on 2 now. As Nex and Dennis will be going against Fallen, Fur, and Steel. And we actually lose Nex too, but here comes the rotate from behind. That's Dennis. What a great flank up catwalk. He's getting flanked himself though, so it'll be Dennis versus Fur. Fur low on HP.
Oh,
Dennis will get it. Fur had him dead to rights. Somehow didn't hit the shot.
Yeah, that was just absolutely ugly. Weird stuff, that play. I mean, Nico just balls of steel. Standing there, like sneaking up, pushing up on the smokes, able to get the kill. More importantly, though, he did his job by dishing out a tremendous amount of damage on the part of 2 Luminosity Gaming players. That made the job so much easier for his teammates once he ends up going down. And then the anti-lurk. Fair looked like his crosser was just a little bit to the left when he initially started firing, and misses the shot. You can't be doing that. That could have been so huge for Luminosity. They buy up, but Fallen already out of the round.
Yeah, dropping Fallen that fast, going into a buy round, not what you want. Chris J off in hand. So Mousesports does have their opera up, alive and ready. And if they get a 9th round here, they're going to put Luminosity in some dangerous territory economy-wise, and into a situation where Mousesports strings together 2. And we are in rough territory for Luminosity, and at a position where Mousesports could take the lead away from them.
Did you see Nico pushing up outside of double door with the body block on the smoke grenade? They're trying to throw that mid to B smoke, and it just hit him. He anti-smoke, so it cancels the strat. Nico wants to flash out, looking for information. They should know someone's there, and I think that's fair. Watching the flank, scary position. Check your tunnels. Lots of players up on Cat. If Nico can hurry up, he might just be able to pull the flank out. Smoke's on sight. And this is your XQ. Watch that player down low. Nex. Well, Nex is just a distraction. Chris J is the one who is just dominating this time around.
We actually lose Steel. So we're going to have a pause come out here. Steel should be back into the server very shortly. Yes. There he is. Now he's back in the server. So it's going to be round 21, getting live. Mousesports with 9 rounds in their favor. Luminosity with 11. And their lead is shrinking very fast here. Mousesports looking to be out of that. I mean, honestly, you're looking at the half, and you're like, wow, Luminosity's looking good right now. They're not going to drop this thing. And Mousesports ended up carrying the momentum, winning the final round of first half, and just worked it all the way through. And as you can see, Luminosity taking this time to talk to each other a little bit, figure out what they need to be doing. Fallen trying to wrangle in his team and get them back in winning fashion.
Look at the way Fallen is just calmly talking to the team. No negativity right there. Just discussing what's going to happen. A lot of discussion going on at Mousesports too. Middle of the table, you see Gabi very serious about it. I'd be curious what they're talking about right now. Mousesports, they've got to be confident, right? They've got so many rounds in a row already. They're closing the gap. Luminosity, something's going wrong on T side. The slow executes aren't working. The fast executes aren't working.
Honestly, Mousesports has just come alive here. They're hitting the shots they need to hit. You got Chris J. He was going first half, but realistically, big step-ups coming from Nico at next. Dennis in the mix also, so when Mousesports is shooting well like they are right now, they're able to collect good rounds away from Luminosity. See if they can do it again. Gabi getting a little aggressive here towards that long A house. Doesn't fully commit inside, but he'll hang outside and wait just in case any of those Luminosity players trying to force through.
Seems like one of the big strengths for Luminosity is on their CT side when they have Fair lurking and pushing out on the flank. Now, once you're on T side, you don't have that advantage. You're going to be relying on somebody like Steel hanging back and getting the cheeky kills, and so far he just hasn't been representing, hasn't been showing up at this in this match. 11-9, fully bought out. Luminosity Gaming on a force buy. All they have are Galils. They're able to take Cat. Smokes on site. This is the same execute they keep doing over and over, and it's not working. The mollies are out, the guns are on point, and look at this. The kill console's lighting up. They're able to take Nico down, but already it's going to be Fallen and Fur all alone. Fair's got to deal with the player at Pit. Takes him down, but he's shot in the back by Nex, and now Fallen finds himself all alone, pushing up on the site. 15 seconds on the clock. You have no choice. It's either save or go for it. He goes for it, and it's going to cost him.
Yeah, tries to get across there, long time ticking down. Didn't really have a choice. Tried to get out, and it doesn't end up working. So Luminosity trying to get this thing back in their favor. They're not having any luck, though. I mean, Mousesports at this point, they're only down 1 round. And there's realistically no prescription here for Luminosity. They're just not hitting shots. They're just getting out-aimed across the board by the Mousesports players, excuse me. And, I mean, Mousesports just hitting very, very nice shots, being very fluid, using smokes and flashbangs well. And Luminosity doesn't have an answer for it. They're not able to out-aim them.
They have a B spawn, and they charge into the tunnels and work their way towards mid. There's actually a lot of pressure that's about to happen outside of B tunnels, and that's going to be Dennis walking on out. We just missed that frag, but he's able to take Steel out in tunnels. They're trying to throw him mid to B split, and what is that? Getting completely mowed down. It is a flawless round for Mousesports, hanging on to every player, every single gun, and wow, Dennis takes one in B tunnels, and then the crossfires were real.
Chris J with the op in his hands, Nex with the rifle. Both of them, they just lined up down through mid, and it just turned into a shooting gallery, and they were able to pop up all those frags. Mousesports will tie this up now. We're at 11-11 in a game where, honestly, at half, I was literally looking. I'm like, all right, we're map number 2. Let's see what we have going on here for Mirage. But now we already lose Steel into round 23. Luminosity and Mouse tied.
He was drawing his weapon when he got pushed. That's not good. Ooh, now the A take, not going so well. Another goes down. We're in a 3v5. Fallen flashed out, misses the player crossing at mid. Look how spread out Luminosity's become at this point. Yeah. You got 1B, 1 mid, 1A. Everybody but the mid player's dead. Fallen, SG, not a great clutch weapon.
He's doing what he can with it. Down in CT spawn, pulls out a shot onto Chris J, but he's getting pinched here. Mousesports knows exactly where he's at, and Mousesports will be able to win this round. It's going to be a 3-on-1, bomb down. They're just hunting for the frag. They do find it. It's going to be Nico who gets it. Now Mousesports will take the lead away from Luminosity Gaming, so we're 12-11 in a game that honestly probably should have been 16-5, 16-6 if Luminosity was able to hold on and play the way they did first half.
Yeah. Luminosity losing so many rounds. The one advantage is they've got a little bit more money coming in. They've been managing their finances, and Mousesports hasn't been keeping them excessively low. So this time you got the full buy coming out. You got the off in Steel's hand. Fallen maybe having a little bit of trouble. Maybe his op game's just a little bit off right now. So, hey, Steel, take the op, hold position. Actually, I think Steel had the spawn for a long pick, and he gets into that position very, very fast as well. So he tries for it. Ends up getting taken out by the fast peek. He gets flashed out as well. So 4 versus 5. Op goes now into Fallen's hands, and the team looks like they're on tilt.
Yeah, I mean, you drop Bolts extremely fast into the round. He's down out of the way. Mousesports now has that one-man advantage, and Chris J with the op. We talked about it first half. He was really holding it down. Now it's even more so alive with that op. All the rifles coming out from Mousesports, they've all been on point. Nico and Nex playing very well. They have that one-man advantage. They have the one-round advantage, and they're definitely doing all that they can here to try and grab this 13th round. And man, Luminosity on that max loss bonus and in trouble.
Yeah. See the bomb in B tunnels. They're setting up. Steel, Lurk gets taken out at Cat. They know that's the Lurk players, so the team's going to react very, very quickly as the execute comes in underway. Dennis from Windows able to take Steel down, and look at this. They're pinching him off. Nico through the smoke comes in from behind, trying to find out where Cold is. Cold's cheeky by the door. Too many players in sight, and taken down. High fives going around from Mousesports' coach right there. Look at Gabi. Yes! We've got this, boys. Closing the gap. Eking out ahead even.
Yeah, I mean, and you can see it on the faces here of the Luminosity players. They seem frustrated. They seem a little agitated. Nothing they're doing is winning them rounds right now. I mean, they're just outright getting out-aimed. Like, it's not like, all right, guys, you need to just rotate your position in the bomb site. You need to do this. You need to do that. It's just we're losing heads up, gun to gun, and we can't hit our shots. And there's nothing you can do to fix that than just have it randomly start clicking correctly.
Steel, closest to the camera there, looks like he is just lost in thought. You know, what's going on?
Yeah.
He's having a bad game, though. He's been bottom fragging all the way through on Dust 2. The lurk roll just hasn't worked for him, and that's a contributing factor to their T side. I mean, Steel needs to come up big and get some of those, not just more kills, but he needs to get these high-impact kills, preventing the rotations, slowing down Mousesports' response. If he can't do that, then this T side is potentially screwed. Mousesports is going to keep exploiting all these holes and all these problems, and the lurk player is one of them. You can just push the lurk once you figure out what's going on and take him down.
Yeah, I mean, getting that one-man advantage right off the bat is going to be huge if you can do that. But we have a tactical pause, I believe, coming out here for Luminosity. Just waiting for the players to get ready up. They're trying to figure out what they need to do. They're talking it over. They don't want to lose map number 1. They don't want to have to worry about going to a map number 3. If they could 2-0 this series, that's exactly what they want to do. But I mean, Mousesports came back in a huge way after a first half that was very, very disappointing if you're a Mousesports fan. I mean, it was disappointing to watch as just a Counter-Strike fan because they weren't playing good at all. And look at the turn-on from Nico with 22 frags, Nex with 18, Chris J with 16. They turned it on when they needed to.
Mousesports, this is the team that beat Na'Vi 2-0 yesterday. Phenomenal play, and they're starting to pull it back out. Bolts, though, he's able to charge out like a bolt of lightning and take one pick fast at long A. It's going to be a very fast play. Look at this. Fast Cat loses the firefight, so now all eyes are going to be down on long. Once all is said and done, though, look at this. 2 versus 3 situation with Chris J. And
Chris J.
What's this? What's this? Push the smoke like it's absolutely nothing. Next is going to find himself all alone. 1 versus 1 with Steel. Steel's been struggling.
Oh, he can't pick it up. Steel off a catwalk hits the shot, and that's 3 frags for Bolts, 2 for Steel. And after the pause, Luminosity comes back. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the shot good there. They bring this game within 1 round. And Mousesports now, it's the ones that have to be a little bit worried. Even though they've won so many rounds in a row, they were losing players, so their economy, they're not sitting at $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 in the bank. So Mouse bought out into this, and they got like $3,200, I think was the max that they had.
Yeah, this still heavily favors Mousesports, and then look at that. The instant pick going off down mid. Fallen is out of the picture. Bolt's going to take a lot of damage to taking long control, but they do have long. Bolt's going to get dropped into pit. Bomb shows itself, and there is the op of Chris J coming out once again. Bolt shut down in pit, and that scares Luminosity Gaming off of long. The bomb's going to rotate out, and all 3 group up towards middle. You're going to have to worry about Gabi.
Yeah, Gabi right there in their face. He's going to be up on top of Catwalk. Another smoke comes down. Good team smoke. That will help Gabi stay in his position for a little while longer unless he needs to move. But, I mean, at this point, Mousesports with that 2-man advantage, only going against Fur, Cold, and Steel. And look at this. Gabi's going to push out. He's going to look towards mid. Up at the top, up near the palm tree, is going to be Fur. Takes him down. So now it's up to Cold and Steel. 2 versus 5. They do have the bomb, but they are getting very, very low on time. Now that it's only Steel, that's even worse.
Yeah, Cold and Steel, they tend to buddy up and pal around on most maps with the offensive setup for Luminosity Gaming. And I kind of think that's funny because it's the Cold Steel duo.
Cold Steel.
But this time around, I mean, they were separated. They couldn't play off of each other, couldn't get any kind of picks, and they had the man disadvantage.
Yeah.
And suddenly, Luminosity Gaming is looking like they're going to give this thing up. They had such a strong, and I mean strong, CT side. And here we are, 12 and 14, 2 points away from Mousesports' victory. And Luminosity Gaming is just going to have to eco rush B side. They're able to get a little entry pick, though. This could come up huge. Chris J with the op. He can't see anything with the smoke. And Nex also helping out. We got a B stack. Nex pushes up, gets taken down. Chris J still alive with the op, though. Look at this, 2v3.
Yeah, comes in, tries to clean this thing up. Let's see, we're going to have Fallen and Bolts left alive. Nico's right there at the door, same with Chris J, Gabi. And they have one player isolated outside the bomb site, and Fallen's able to take down Chris J. Bolts will finally go down, and there it is. Cleanup crew comes out for Mousesports. They are now on map point in round 28. And we brought this out pretty deep here. I fully expected this to be like a very, very fast 16-4, 16-5
yeah.
for Luminosity without first halfway. But I mean, Mousesports, they battled all the way back. They tied this up. They've gotten themselves to at least overtime here. Even if they lose the remainder of the rounds, they have at least gotten that far.
Look at the finances. Mousesports, that's all they can do. One round from Mousesports' victory, and all we have are Tech 9s, and that grenade's not going to help. Steel drops him low, and then he gets taken down by the M4 silence of Gabi. Bolts takes a couple of shots just trying to draw out the fire. Meanwhile, the bomb is at B. It looks like Luminosity wants to bait out a rotation. 2 players still stacked inside of B. 2 at long, and even more pressure is moving towards mid and B. So, this is so bad. 3 versus 5. No guns being picked up, and Cole just walks right out into the open at mid.
Yeah,
Bolts is alone. Look how spread out they are.
I don't like what they're doing here. Bomb isolated at the B bomb site. That is gonna do it. Mousesports will take map number 1. Man, wow. 16 to what was that? 11 or 12?
We'll see the final score pop up on the screen shortly. Either way, Luminosity.
Huge battle back for Mousesports there. That was gigantic.
Here's the thing. Luminosity Gaming, they struggled so heavily on T side, and they were playing their typical play, right? Very slow, very methodical. Let's almost Navi this sort of stuff, where we're going to set up and, figure out where somebody is, maybe draw a rotator off. Mousesports was not moving. I mean, they just were not going to do it. They figured out how to counter Steel perfectly, knocking him out time and time again. The only rounds that really worked well for Luminosity Gaming is when they actually got out of their comfort zone and started moving extremely fast and aggressively. That worked out, and then even though they got a couple of rounds, they backed off and they went back to that slow, methodical play, which wasn't working in the first place. Why would you do that?
I mean, they were never hitting their shots.
Yeah.
First half, they hit shots great. It was amazing.
Right.
Mousesports kind of lagged behind. But then again, yeah, you're spreading your players out. You're not able to trade frags effectively.
Yep.
So if your big stars aren't able to hit shots, at least have somebody there to trade that frag out. So they don't need to hit their shot right off the bat.
They spread out a lot.
And the last round, one at A, one at B, bomb was just kind of blown up. I mean, it was a blown up strat.
Well,
they were definitely trying to throw a fake. It just never materialized. They got lit up too quick, lost their players. You need to switch up a lot faster and start putting two players together, so at least trade that frag. If you're not able to just step out and hit the headshots right off the bat, at least have somebody with you to be able to trade that so you keep it even. Coming from the T side, even if it's 4-on-4, you have the advantage now because the CTs have to try and split up to try to defend both bomb sites, whereas you can go as a 4-man unit and get yourself a 4-on-2 or a 4-on-1, depending on what bomb site you go to.
Yeah. Looking at the score line right there, that tells the story. 11 for amazing CT side for Luminosity Gaming. They actually only picked up a single round on T side. I was thinking that there were more for some reason, but no, it's just a single round to finish 16 and 12. That's just absolutely awful. Stars of the I don't know if we can really pick anybody out as a true star. We saw Nico doing some crazy things. He is at the top of the leaderboard, but I didn't see anybody particularly standing out for Mousesports on that map. It seemed like the entire team was just communicating extremely well and working together to get the trade kills, and also exploiting the fact that Luminosity was isolated. I mean, you could always find a single player and take him, even bait him out.
Yeah, you can't put yourselves in situations like that. If you're not hitting your shots, you need to be aware of that. You need to adjust a lot faster. We didn't see that adjustment come out from Luminosity, and they are a team that notoriously we see good adjustments from them.
Yeah.
When something's not working, they adjust very well. They end up doing what they need to do to win. I mean, just yesterday, these guys 2-0 Navi. You know what I mean? Like, they were playing nuts, and now they dropped a big, sizable lead to Mousesports that they shouldn't have dropped.
Well, that was Mousesports. 2-0ing Navi. Luminosity actually took Titan out 2-0 on the main stage, and I don't know. Luminosity, it seems like they really should have played a lot stronger right here on Dust 2. An alarming fact is Dust 2 is the map choice for Luminosity Gaming. Yeah. You know, through the videos, through the picks, they obviously felt more comfortable on this. Next up, we're going to be going on to Mirage, which is map number 2, as chosen by Mousesports. If we look at Mousesports' history on Mirage, they're good at it, but Luminosity is also an extremely good, solid Mirage team. Remember when they were Keat Stars? This is the team that actually invented the whole 5-smoke play. Where, you know, instead of just doing your standard 3 smokes, you're going to just smoke everything off and plant. These days, they've actually taken a page out of the Navi playbook, and they're starting to bias these sort of heavy smoke strategies. I call the Berlin Wall, where you do it this way, and then you've got the other one that goes across stairs. And they like to do that. It seems like the new meta these days, where you come charging and you plant right in the smoke. And it's been extremely effective for Luminosity, but I think the new meta that I'm seeing defensively is people are learning how to counter that, which is to just kind of flash your players out, or even get up on
flash through that and get aggressive off.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see how Mousesports is able to play with this.
Yeah. So we're just waiting for map 2 to go live here, guys. That will be Mirage between Mousesports and Luminosity. Remember, winners from day one. They both 2-0'd the teams that they played. And they're looking to try and make that happen again today, or at least Mousesports is trying to make it a 2-0 again for them to head into Sunday. So we're going to probably take a quick break here while we wait for the teams to get in and get ready. But as soon as they do get into the server, we're going to throw this thing back live into the pistol on map number 2.
Awesome.